intimidate, but not my constituents.
Crap, just between the four of us.
Honor the Vet Things, Neighbor Association, all that stuff.
So I thought you had to do.
I did. I only gave him a copy of one page. I did May, June, and July.
He doesn't want him to plagiarize him.
I don't care what he does. If you want a copy, you want me to send you the whole thing? Well,
The 1 minute thing, oh, you talking to your watch? Carl,
Are you still Brad? What's still? Oh,
Tara lives out of town, so you better send her a wake-up call. Rachel.
Rachel will be here.
Exactly.
you feeling it?
Don't tell her I said.
Ah.
You gotta give her your time.
Yeah, you gotta shoot ahead of the target.
Still Fields
All
time.
right, I'm going to call the Finance Committee to order this evening. We have a budget reallocation, originally brought to our attention by Mr. Palomeni, but AC Seaver, Assistant Chief Seaver, says this is a project near and dear to his heart. So give us a little more color than we got last week, and we'll go on to the budget application. And I've been asked to have you use the mic.
Hold it, stay there.
Yeah.
This is a karaoke, right?
No.
Good. I don't even sing in the shower.
He needs a couple beers. That's all.
Basically, I just want to start by just part of maybe just the consolidation plan because of finance. I'm just teasing. As you heard at the last committee meeting, I wasn't myself chief. And just kind of breaking out, just the raise some money, financial budget, cover our costs, motion, tenant position. Tenant position is really pushing towards technology. It's really kind of a big push by the police department as we've been pushing for the last several years. Really instill technology in the department. I listed some of the responsibilities within the legislative West. I'm going to elaborate on anything that we wish, but it's also really kind of arming the officers out the street with more knowledge. And I'll just touch on what we're working on, project we're working on, is as the officers come off their days off or on patrol, that they be able to, as they drive down the street, use the GPS to see where all the extra attentions are, where the burglaries were, where crimes have occurred over the last 72 hours, months, whatever parameters we want to set it. But just one more arming our officers with the technology that they don't, the information they need to control the street better calls. In addition to that, when they're responding to a house, just pipe their little street police station, that when they respond there, they know the history of what's going on there. This is kind of a big move on our part to really kind of push that along.
Questions from last week or last cycle?
There'll be a transition there. There's a building out there. I don't want to, say that somebody come in there and switch tomorrow and make it happen. We're trying to, have our officers working with the ITUs, but have officers that know what is needed out in the streets by the officers, as opposed to civilians doing it. This person being accomplished with ITU. On the same token, there's a lot of technologies out there that are available to us. We're pretty much a data-driven department now, so trying data constantly. Police better. So this is a step to enhance that process.
Good question. How many did you want to budget reallocation?
Pretty self-explanatory, I think. It basically is budget neutral for this particular year and shift 35,206, and that's about it.
Other questions?
Do we have another unit there by any chance, Rachel, or what?
Mary, somebody wants to switch units? Switch the unit? Let's switch the unit. Was I too loud?
No, I think it's conflicting with the.
Do your karaoke thing now. Sweet Caroline, please.
Like I said, I don't even sing in the shower. I know my position.
Ms. Porterfield?
So it's budget neutral this year. What is it for next year's budget? The 30, that's for next year?
Well, yeah, it'd be, I believe it'd be less than that, maybe, yeah, but, comment on that. Basically, it's the difference between a top grade patrol officer and a lieutenant position. So it's, if I had to guess right now, I'd say probably $14,000 to $16,000.
Okay.
The transfer is because that's what we need to cover that amount for the remainder of the year for that position. So it's really not, next year's impact is not that high. Again, it's the difference between the two ranks.
Any other questions? Okay. Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by Mr. Rivera, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Is there anything else to come before finance this evening?
I'm a little bit adjourned.
Moved by Mr. Rivera, second by Ms. Wilson. We are adjourned. And next I will call to order government operations. I don't see one. So it's just, Rachel, are you filling in for Carl?
I'm filling for Carl, but I don't know.
Okay.
The question is.
I'll just have it on the agenda every 2 weeks as we continue forward and finding out how we can safely remove some structures that are really quite dangerous and are ready to fall down on the citizens of Schenectady. So we will continue in pursuit of making that better. And as we have. Yes, Mr. Mujibur.
I have something I would like to add towards the discussion. Permits.
Okay. I know, just following up on the last discussion, the mayor has agreed to hire someone to remove the infestation of raccoons on Porter Street, and it truly is an infestation. So that's good news. That is not a city-owned property. It's actually a private-owned property, but a step in the right direction, along with the many steps in the right direction that we're making on a regular basis, but still concerned about the structure on Georgetta Dix and on Delamont. And I know Mr. Reiki had concern with a structure on, is it Fourth or Third? So we'll continue to have that on the agenda so we can have an update every couple of weeks. I know that we did currently, or as of 2 weeks ago, didn't have a demolition list together. So as that demolition list comes together, take a look at it. Interested to see how many levels of properties we have on the demolition list, which are properties deemed to be demolished as soon as possible. That's wonderful. And Mr. Mujibur, you had.
Oh, yes. We had passed permit fee waiver a couple weeks ago. And what we're seeing here is that homeowners are still being charged for the cost of work, that percentage that is applied to the cost of work. And wondering why we're doing that. And I thought we were supposed to have a $0 fee on all cost of work plus the permit. I have a copy here of a recent one. I spoke with Dominic last Friday, and there's no change.
I don't know what you have in front of you, but there were a couple that were charged in the beginning, but we've refunded those.
No, this one here is recently as of 8/15.
Clerk has something to add, please.
Last year, when that was done, I remember the discussion with Eric, and the base fee was what was waived and the percentage was not. When you pass it this year, it's supposed to be the same as last year. When code enforcement asked me, I told them they were supposed to base fee, charge the percentage. I don't remember the terminology they used for the two fees. The one that was the percentage was the charge, and the application fee, I think it's what they call it, was waived.
Yeah, that's not the case. I think we passed, when we passed it out of council here, it was both the application fee plus cost of work.
Okay, then it was communicated by me to code enforcement, correct?
So can we correct that? What do we need to
I mean,
do?
I can correct the communication, certainly.
What is the legislation? That,
Legislation is not specific. The legislation, that was where the confusion was, the way the legislation was written.
Ms. Porterfield actually had her hand up.
Go ahead.
So how was it communicated, other than them coming at Chuck? Was legislation given to whoever in charge of code enforcement? Were they, after we passed this, was that communicated to them? Well, I'm not sure who should answer that question, because I think that there was a breakdown in terms of that. I know that for a fact, because someone there told me that they never actually saw what the legislation was and wasn't clear on how to do that particular process. So, there's a miscommunication somewhere. That's true. And so I think that we would need to, that code enforcement knows, and the people that work there that have to actually do the day-to-day need to know exactly. And if it doesn't mean like putting forth, giving them just a copy of the legislation, but putting forth something in writing to them to say, this is exactly how it's going to be done, as opposed to telling one person that works there who then tells another other person that they would have something clear in writing to go by and how they actually implement this particular legislation.
When we first brought this up here a couple weeks ago, I did email a copy of our proposal to Ms. Reporter Kelly and copy our proposal. So they are we have communication with them regarding
That's the head of,
specific.
that's who,
But she asked for it.
I think, however
And
the
I
chain of
think,
command.
if I'm not mistaken, she's the one who does all the permit typing up, processing of the permits.
Mr. Crozier?
So, do you have a date that that resolution was passed? Do we have a copy of that? I mean, could we ask Ms. Rachel to get a copy and maybe hold this conversation for a few minutes so she can maybe look that up and get it to us and read what was in it?
It's out of the clerk's office.
Well, they have it too, obviously. I don't want them to leave here because we're really not that we're not using them now, but we need them for minutes, right?
Well, we can
Unless
wait
you
a
wanna take the
moment.
minutes.
We can wait a moment. Well,
Do you know what the date of that thing was, John? If you don't
And
mind.
again, where there's been an error, what we're doing is just refunding the money, so people have a problem to go through.
all right, so this whole conversation.
Was it 2 and 2? Do commercial break and raise some money for the city.
But when was that permit issued? Just weeks ago, right?
15th,
Of August?
August 15th.
Yeah, so there's quite a few that are out there, for sure. And they even charge the fee, right? Or did they waive the fee?
It's $40.
1% of the cost of work.
Right.
The application fees waived.
Well, the writing's too small, man. Rachel, can you read that to me? That's too much legal stuff there, man. Listen, man, I guess, flip the coin, 50-50.
Listen for the sound.
It's wherever the catcher caught it, man, I'm telling you, man. You don't believe it.
That's what we do with us.
That's exactly it.
They do that for you, John.
Yeah, once in a while. That's pretty accurate.
Sometimes they want to get that too, right? If they don't have to do it, they do it. So, you know,
Sometimes it's just better just to leave it open.
I used to say that. See it.
Because when you start moving the glove around, they
It makes the umpires start.
yeah, it's a ball.
Right. Yeah, $40.
God, if you had the things, we're in trouble.
Listen, I was a pitcher's umpire. Thing I want to see was a pitcher and a catcher for 9 innings, the same guy, all 9 innings. One team, 8.5. I didn't want to go to the bottom. Root for the home
Wednesday
team.
night football is
Root for the home team. Ah, dear.
They just make them mark.
Here he comes. There he is. I think it's going to tell us what we want, though. Doesn't look like it's going to change.
September 30th. No, June 26th, right there.
I think yours is coming the other way.
Yes, I know, but council doesn't tell me what
You asked when passed.
what was included in that.
Oh,
There's all the permit fees.
Yeah. This is building permit fees.
Yeah, so that's
Permit. Doesn't say that, guys.
It doesn't, not specific.
Right.
I think the only last question is for Corporation Council, that the legislation reads correctly to support the original proposal, and if it does, then we need to do the business of getting back their
Pretty fancy.
money. So we'll have to ask Carl.
What the original one is.
Municipality.
Can we sign that?
I knew I was gonna be good. But I know it was circulated quite a few times in our office, so for the rereading of it,
So just like leaving the permit fee.
I think we should be more specific in application fee / cost of work. So that way we kind of cover all fees or put in all fees. No, we define that. I mean, it says here, it says building permit fees.
All right. Move
Well,
on.
if it reads properly to support
Yeah.
what you are looking for, then there's no need to change the legislation. We just need to make sure it's applied correctly.
Clarify.
Right, so we have to look.
So, Ms. Ward, would you
the resolution was.
confer with Mr. Palatino
yeah, no problem.
and let Mr. Mutavera know?
Yep, I'm gonna put it.
Okay.
He's back.
Any other, Ms. Ward?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate that however, whatever it is, there should be something in writing that goes down to code so that
Yeah.
they know how to apply that, so that future doesn't come up again.
Okay, any other business to come before government operations? Ask for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Palomini, seconded by Ms. Luzis. All those in favor?
Okay, call to order health and recreation. I've asked that we bring back the discussion regarding PAL. We did have this officers come a few weeks ago. And I'd like us to really try to see if we could institute this in some way. One of the reasons that I understand that it didn't happen before, one of the concerns, or the major asks, is that if PAL could come under the umbrella of the city for insurance. Because this summer, actually, they wanted to take young people on a bus trip, but because they didn't have insurance, didn't want to take on that liability. So therefore, it didn't happen. So the first ask is if, in fact, that's something that we could do in terms of bringing PAL under the city for the insurance. I did have also a lengthy discussion with the chief, and he could see they do have some other things that they're planning on working on, not necessarily the start of PAL. He can go into more detail about that on its own, but to just work with some existing kind of organizations. So, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I could.
He's a good singer, so you guys
I was gonna say, did you inherit the, no, no.
I apologize.
Yeah, it just goes into the,
Oh,
Well, what's happened is we got sidetracked with the PAL, with the Public Safety Foundation, where we met several times with the law department and with finance to get that foundation set up. And once we have it set up, we want to pay for at least the police end of it to PAL so that we can do certain things with kids, take them on trips, events, activity events. But really, we're limited until we have that insurance umbrella covering us from doing anything outside the city, going to their location. So one trip really want to put together. We've been told that we should have insurance, which was too costly. We were spending money that they had the Italian insurance policy. So they let it cancel, we stopped. discussions we've had, say, police academy, summertime, that might be fun stuff, not the hard stuff, which maybe stuff like that, and then of course reading activities, games, maybe some athletic events, like ball stuff like that. So we would be interested in ramping it up. It takes time, but that's where we're at right now. Just get the public safety foundation up and running. That's going to allow us to interact with the VRL population also.
So what is involved in getting the Public Safety Foundation underway? Are you in the process?
I believe it's a part right now. Carl is researching, getting us the chair of the status that
Okay.
accept donations. We have businesses that are interested in funding some of these things, trips to Great Escape, things like that. So we want to be able to accept donations that need actually.
So I know that, we had a speaker comment, and there were some concerns about the young people who reside at 122 Park Avenue, and so, which are all youth, and so this might be also an opportunity where we could work with that facility as well, and the young people that live there. So, obviously, we're not going to have an opportunity to do it this summer, but I think that it would be more productive of us to do things more proactively in terms of our young people, and let their interaction with the police be in a very positive way, and as opposed to in another way, not so positive. So, so that's why I'm bringing this back again. I think it would be something that would be beneficial to the young people in our city, and to our police officers as well. So I'm not sure what it requires to get it back, the insurance under the city, but that would be the first step.
Right, along with it.
So, yes, Ms. Perrell?
Can you offer us any information about the possibility of PAL going under the city's insurance? Is that something you might be able to?
I think PAL is a separate organization. That should be its own independent. And that's why they needed their own insurance.
Are you looking for directions to get out of here?
The Ferrari
I thought that when we talked about it several months ago, the city was willing to give the assistance needed to get PAL back up and running. So I thought that's where we left our conversation.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it was a separate organization. They needed the PAL itself had to collect money to become its own insurance, not under the city by itself.
So the city cannot carry the rider, is what you're saying? It has to be carried by a 501c3 or a non-profit organization that supports PAL.
I mean, that's the way it's PAL set up as a 501c3.
I know, but the city cannot carry a rider for PAL. Is that what you're telling me? I don't know. I'm asking.
Mayor?
The real discussion has progressed away from just solely having a PAL organization, maybe having more public safety organization, so it wouldn't just be police, but it would be also firefighters having interaction with youth members of the community, and using it as an outreach, but also really as a recruitment tool to expose individuals to different career opportunities. And Chief, you can correct me, the National PAL organization has certain criteria, and so that set it up really more as an independent organization, which would have to be more of a standalone. We bring it into the city under a public safety league or athletic league, then it's going to be well within, it's not a rider, it just goes under the city's policy as a different board, commission, or other entity that would be out there with whatever charge it has. It really would require just going back to the council, passing a resolution saying that there's a public safety league, or public safety, whatever the athletic league, and then move it forward from there.
So, yes, Mrs.
So, does that mean that you not need to have a 501c3 set up? Or
Correct. If you set up the 501(c), you're moving in the direction where it's a standalone organization. They've got to have their own auditing. They've got to have their own insurance.
Correct. So will they be able to set contributions?
It would be set up as a trust and agency account with the city so that the money be audited and just accounted for within the normal process of the city. So expenditures, do it on a city purchase order, just the normal procedures that we have in place now.
And that's one of the problems too, as I said, the difference is that an organization within the city wants to purchase or do anything, they have to come to go through the city policies, whereas if it was independent, they can just go out and get it themselves. So that's the stuff we're struggling with our law department, trying to figure it out so that it's the best interest of the department, the city, and the youth.
Okay, so is there a time frame in terms of, I don't know if I should be asking you, Mr. Ferrari, or who, is there a time frame in trying to move this forward? Yes, I'm not sure where it is right now.
It's in the law department right now, but we have been meeting on this.
Yes.
And sorry to say, everything gets so much busier, it kind of gets on the back burner more, But with meetings like this, I'm sure when you see Carl, I'll probably have to be the school now. That's correct. As you're council.
Ms. Brazel?
So I'm confused, because it sounds like your conversations thus far were about making this entity a 501c3. But the mayor sounds like he's supportive of having it with, well, I thought you said Carl was trying to help you designate that status.
Yeah, I'm a little unclear
Okay.
on the legal end of it.
Gotcha, okay. We'll touch.
There's very similar from what I've been told, and that's where Carl was kind of balancing back and forth. We want to go down the easiest path.
Yeah. We want you to.
And, right, because one of the reasons they have not been able to do things is because they weren't a 501c3, and the money that, there's some history to it, but years back when they did have a little bit of money, most of it got sucked up by, paying all these legal fees and doing all that stuff, so there was really no money to do the program for the grant that they did get. So trying to avoid that, to actually make sure that some activities really, start to happen. And again, we're at the end of August having this discussion. So, but I think we should continue to have it throughout the winter, and so that when next summer comes, we're able to actually move forward. And when the chief was explaining about the public safety, I think it's a good idea to also involve the fire department and to expose you to other areas of public safety as well. So, yes, Ms. Brazel.
I'd like to continue the conversation. There's activities to be done in the winter too, not just in the summer, right? So the sooner we could get this moving forward, it's, beneficial. So I just guess I want some clarification on, is somebody going to touch base with Corporation Council so we get a little clarity on what's going on so far, or report back? Okay.
Yes. So that was it. I just, again, wanted to bring this back to the table again. We brought it forward. It just kind of didn't come to any conclusion. And I, wanted to bring it forward again so we really can move forward on doing this. So I know the police are doing a lot of things already involved with the community basketball and supporting other organizations that are doing stuff. I think this would just boost that even more. So, Ms.
So
Brazel.
should we put this on for 2 more weeks and ask Mr. Palatigo to just fill us in on where they are,
Yeah,
so that we have a clearer picture? That's all.
Thanks, Chief. Is there anything else to come before Health and Recreation?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Call to order public safety. Item number 1, we have our Burns Justice Assistant Grant.
Yes, the first grant is annual grant we receive from the federal government And this year is in the amount of, there's my glasses, 43,376. See it right? And over the past years, what we do is we get together with the DA's office and by statute, this grant, have to come up with a consensus as far as how to spend the money. And generally, the years we split it between the DA's office ourselves, and that's exactly what one of the things we should do this year. The idea is laid out, some of the ideas that we have. We also post this on our website for input from the public 30 days, as well as the city council. So we're not trying to, we want you to pass something for supporting this grant. It's not finalized as far as Chapter 5. We're still by grant application required to wait 30 days and solicit. What we're looking at is speed signs, not speed signs, information boards. Lots of times throughout the city, we have two right now in the police department, but both exposed or accident, traffic, at parades, and so on and so forth. That's one item. The other item is we want to kind of really mark our speed zones better in the school districts, by the schools, and have them so that we're driving down the street that how fast you're actually going to the speed zone. So this is kind of first to start that process. I don't really know exactly how the schools are in the area. I know 3 or 4 right now that have some speed problems around the schools. And that's from a public safety standpoint. We feel that'd be a good use of money.
Any questions, Mr. Dozier?
Yeah, so Chief, I did email you earlier today regarding the speeding at the schools. And I know the next piece on there is with traffic safety and services. We're going to enhance speeding in certain areas. But, I've been involved with many of the PTOs and go to many of the PTO meetings, and that is one of the major concerns that a large majority of our schools have is speeding in front of the main thoroughfares. What's our ballpark price on these?
Well, it depends on what we get exactly. Between $3,500 and probably $4,400. I sent you back a response today.
Yeah.
$5,000. I have a price list. It's a la carte, and so it depends. But we can actually have to generate a system where it automatically feeds us data on a daily basis, and so that our traffic unit can say, "Oh, this is what the speeds are." Turn speed signs on and off, which is for reasons, but they won't be off. According as people are driving the street, we have more truer measure of how fast people are actually going. Not that I speed, but when I do see the signs, I tend to slow down. I'm not sure what kind of reasons get the signs. But that said, I'm trying to maybe some covert type of speed data, and then maybe some overt type of policing, or forcing them with some of the signs on.
So they are gathering data as they're going through that. In other words, are these going to be like mounted up on the poles again, or are these the portable ones, or are these the ones that we mount on the poles?
These are on poles.
That's what
Like about it, it's very simple.
Yeah.
They got it off. Generally, leave them for a week or two, then there's good battery life that you have to recharge. But you get pretty much up to 2 weeks, depending on how you set up the size and stuff like that. And they can set on there how many lights light up, what time of day, how long you're running for. But it's the idea is that mobile, you take down, charge them at night, come back up. So we move them around the areas until we have enough to have them throughout the city. But again, marrying this with some of the grants we talked about, we do a lot of traffic enforcement. I don't want to mislead you. Write a lot of tickets a year for that. However, the school zones come on you very quickly.
Right.
Easter Avenue, and where school is, for 2 examples. Myself, sometimes I catch myself just at the middle of the day. So this would be a nice reminder to slow down.
Yeah, those two in particular. And I know in Oneida Middle School we got several calls, and I worked with Assistant Chief Falvo at that time too. And because again, Oneida just reopened last year, and people just continue to fly through that zone. So.
Again, we do a lot of enforcement.
Yeah.
I was right on top of the traffic, but it's still needs more.
All right. Purchasing more wouldn't help us by any chance? I mean, 3 or 4 is effective?
Yes, we'd like to see more. It's something that's, but, to broaden the program, and to start with, for us, use these funds right now, because obviously there's no impact to the city financially. Use these funds, try it, see how they work, see how much one around, see if it increases. We can do, like I said, some overt type of studies. Just keep the signs up there, for a couple weeks and see what kind of data we get, force it for a while. Yeah.
And your light chief, lieutenant, maybe can help us with that. But that's important. And I'm glad you're doing that. That's really an important piece. The school zones are so important to us, especially with our crossing guards and all that stuff. whatever we can do to enforce and slow people down.
We'll look for additional grants out there that allow
Good.
just more and stuff like that. Constantly trying to grow.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Move it.
Yes, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item up is the police traffic service program.
Again, I sent you the information on this. It's $31,440. You see, food traffic safety and some selective enforcement. You see the seatbelt enforcement. Sometimes they request that we go out certain days a year to do a statewide enforcement. So that's what that money or $400 is allocated for. The remainder of the money is just proactive patrols in the school areas. We do a lot of DDAX is one of the, not to get into too much of the data-driven stuff that we have with DDAX is a program that marries up car accidents with crime statistics. We use some of this money for portions in those zones using our data. Go out there certain times of day. So again, it's omnipresent, so it's not only are you hopefully slowing down the car accidents, the whole area is safer by appearance of police. There's no match on either one of these grants.
Any questions?
I'm moving.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business for public safety?
Motion adjourned.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Call to order administrative efficiency. The only item for agenda is a resolution condemning racism in response from the Trump administration. You all have a copy of that and was sent that on Thursday or Friday. Oh, well, I'll read it. Yeah. Whereas the United States was founded on the ideals stated in the Declaration of Independence with the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all Americans, and whereas freedoms for all Americans are guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States, and whereas racism is defined as a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. And whereas there has risen in the United States a growing threat to political stability and justice that seeks to reignite social animosities, reverse improvements in race relations, divide our people, and provoke hatred, classism, and ethnic cleansing. And whereas the Constitution and laws of the United States and the state of New York and the charter and laws of the city of Schenectady do not support any way acts of bigotry, sexism, or racism. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Schenectady, the mayor concurring that the City of Schenectady is proud of its cultural diversity and rejects retrograde ideologies, violence, hateful speech, and racial bigotry that seeks to destabilize our nation, society, government, and infect our political system, and calls upon President Donald Trump and all federal and state elected officials to publicly denounce this scourge to society. Questions? Have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anything else to bring before administrative efficiency?
I believe Marion is part of that committee
Put
now.
them on it.
Karen,
You're on the resolution.
administrative.
Talking about administrative efficiency.
Marion.
Oh, it's Marion.
It's not me?
No,
I rescind my
No, it
second.
is you.
It is
It's not me.
Oh.
I messed up.
Karen.
Karen threw a curveball at us tonight.
Okay.
I wrote down me.
You're on
All
it.
right, I will make the motion.
I was like,
All those in favor?
aye.
Anything
Karen.
else to bring before administrative efficiency?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.
Thank you very much for confusing us. So speaking of confusion, let's open the Committee on City Development and Planning. Rachel, oh, not yet. A few items here, Rachel. For State Street, there's 3 of them there, 251 State Street.
Rachel, can you actually
Do the first
come to
one?
the table so that they can hear you? Because I don't think the microphone picks up from them.
Sure, no problem. It's my understanding, I tell me, engineering, and these have all been approved by planning, zoning, but 2 are for the same building, for 251 there,
Let me just see. One's for the Biz Lab and the other two are for Saratoga National Bank. So it looks like everything is, as it normally would be in engineering, everything's been signed off on it. Planning.
Is this this is not the DMV building? No, no, 251, where's 251?
Right next door, it's the old.
Right next door. Because I see the DMV. Wait. Okay. Gotcha. All right, any questions on item number 1?
I'll move it.
All right,
I'll second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and then permit number 623, the same for the same address. Motion to approve. And second by Ms. Porterfield, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And permit 624 for 202 State Street.
And that is with the, that's where it's for Biz Lab.
I'll move it.
No, it's not.
It's down the street. It's on the corner of State. Berry, Church, or Berry. Church?
What's the number of the building?
202.
202.
It's the former,
it's
it's right
there.
across, yeah, across from, the SIC. It's the old, it was, originally an art gallery when they redid the building next to ARC.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and then I need a motion to go to executive session, is that correct? For the remaining items, moved by Ms. Porterfield, second by
Second.
Mr. Motivaren, all in favor say aye. Thank you, we're going to executive session.